Welcome, everyone, to the Everything Show. I am your host, Matrixlord212, and I'm with Scott. What's up, Scott?
Hello, all.
Scott, you know how I'm always complaining that they're putting out way too many books or comics?
Yes.
Well, I'm a Marvel guy, and I'm like, Marvel, they're popping out a comic for Spider-Man. Next thing is Aunt May. Next thing is and they're making 1 million Spider people, and it's like, I thought they were going to stop that. There's way too many books. Okay. Well, I see the writing on the wall, as well as some other people, that there's going to come a time in our lives soon with the comic books where there's going to be a crash and burn, just like in the 90s.
Yep.
People are going to get disgusted with the multiple covers, the multiple number ones,
yep.
the multiple variants, the multiple size stories, the raising of the price like ridiculous, and they're going to say no. Now,
yeah, because if they're going to put out a comic book every other week, there's no reason for it to be upwards of $4 to $5.
Well, it turns out that DC Comics is already going. They are feeling that the comic market is dropping severely, and they are going to cut back their comic line, okay, dramatically, Scott. And I'm talking, instead of there being, like, say, 87 different books, they may drop it to 22.
Not 52?
No, 22. Okay, here's a story. And this is coming from Cosmic Book News. As DC Comics continues to take a beating in the direct market, it is learned that the company behind Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Justice League will be cutting their line. While rumors had it that DC would be cutting their line by more than half, to say 22, there was a recent summit held in Charlotte, North Carolina.
There.
Yeah, DC co-publisher Dan DiDio confirmed that they would be cutting their publishing numbers back by a further 10 to 15%. They said they went on to explain that he thinks too many comics overall are being distributed to comic book stores right now, which is diluting the sales for individual titles across the board. And he said, and it also said that, and DeLeo, this makes specific mentions to what is causing it, but he did imply that Marvel is to blame.
It's like they're trying to fill up the comic book shops with nothing but Marvel, so DC is
right. They're flooding it. It's a quick check in the numbers reveals Marvel put out 102 comics in January, with 90 in December. Now, here's the thing I have to say about this. Oh, wait, he went on further to acknowledge there's unrest within the comic book industry right now, and retailers are like, they're complaining. I'm paraphrasing. They're just upset with a lot of things going on. A lot of the comic shops they're upset with the variants. They're upset with this. Let's see. DC cutting their line follows the recent layoffs affecting 3% of its workforce laid off and 10% of Warner Brothers. Consumer Products Division getting let go. Former DC Comics Green Lantern artist, 26-year veteran Ethan Van Sciver, recently pointed out of the problems surrounding DC, Marvel, and the comic book industry. He says that is in a state of collapse. He says the DC line would cut back even further than what they predicted. So this is the thing we've been talking about over and over again. And now others are actually
seeing the writing, like you said, seeing the writing on the wall. I could see the writing on the wall when I go into one of these comic book companies, and even at the point in which I heard one of the guys, I think it was last year, said, "I'm sorry, we can't order just one book. We have to order. We're expected to buy a bulk half of these books."
There's a lot of comic book stores now that are going bankrupt and ending. Not because the comics are not doing well. It's because there's too many damn effing comics that they can't afford to carry. And then if they don't carry every single book from Marvel will punish them, and they'll be like, you're not going to get this, you're not going to get that, you're not going to be allowed this. And as a comic store, you have to have everything available from that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So like, why? My thing is this, right? Why the hell would you have variant covers of, let's say, Fantastic Four #7's coming out, right? When in the past would you ever have every single month is variant covers? Every single effing month.
It loses its twist. That's just it.
You want to know what pisses me off? Pisses me off that nowadays. All right, Conan the Barbarian just had a comic come out, right?
Yeah.
And it's not a monthly thing. It's like effing weekly, bi-weekly, whatever, right? Not only do they get the license back from Conan, but they flood the stores with Conan. There's already 3 issues of Conan. Conan has a second title already. Whoa, back to F off, Marvel. Like, Jesus Christ. And then they're putting Conan as a member of the Avengers. So now you have to get 2 Conan titles. And do you know how many Avenger titles are going to have now? Avengers is weekly. So there's 4 issues. They separated it where it's no longer part of the regular count. So they are still releasing Avengers twice a month, and now 4 times a month. So you're getting.
Then what Marvel needs to do is they need to lower the price of their comic.
They're not.
I know.
They're raising it, and the thing is, it's not even $20.
Blame Marvel for the reason why the comic book industry this time goes down.
You have to spend literally, if the book is $5, that's $20.
Yeah.
If the book is $4, it's way over $20 for just the Avengers. And these kids, I mean, have a budget. They don't have
no. They're going to sacrifice their comic books or sacrifice.
Exactly. This is what happens. So DC is already cutting back. The problem is that while DC's coming back, Marvel is batshit crazy.
And they're trying to fill up that niche.
They are.
They're moving.
I swear, I got to tell you right now, right? I collect Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Back in the day, when they did the bi-weeklies in the 90s, I loved it, right? Oh, they don't do it all the time. It was just a special thing once in a while, right? And I said, oh, I would love it back then if they did it permanently. Now, flash forward like decades later, it's $4. It's $5. It's insane. It's buying comics is more than paying your electric bill.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, it is literally like...
Yeah, I remember buying comics back in the 90s. The comic books that I got back then, back in the 90s at least, I got all the X-Men titles with the exception of Excalibur.
Right.
The only time I got Excalibur is when they had the Age of Apocalypse line.
Right. I had Uncanny X-Men, X-Force, Excalibur.
Nope.
There was even Generation X.
Yes.
There was so much X-Factor.
Yeah.
X-Factor, Cable. It was epic.
X-Factor I didn't get. Excalibur and X-Factor.
I got everything. And it was just multiple covers. There's different things. It was a lot.
And then there was X-Man when he crossed over from Age of Apocalypse.
Correct. Now, I want to tell you, as a Spider-Man fan, you know that, right?
Yeah.
Here's the thing that even sucks, too. When you're collecting, say, Amazing Spider-Man every month, if the artist takes a fucking 2 issues off, they should lower that effing price.
Yep.
Because now you're going to get the same writing, but shitty art. And that pisses me off.
It's the same thing with having it every week to every other week. If you're
that pisses me off.
Same artist or same writer in each episode, then lower the price.
I might just stop collecting when I know that the team is not on board. I don't want no fill-in effing issues, okay? Because if you don't have the team on, it's a fill-in issue because it's forgettable no matter what the writer does. Because if you could have the greatest writer in the world,
oh God, yes.
But if you have the shittiest art, no one is going to effing remember anything that writer does.
No,
because you have to translate it into pictures to see. And if the art sucks ass, you will not remember I don't care how well written that book is. This is not a novel. You have to have the art coincide with the writing.
Yeah.
So you have to have a great artist.
Because I remember
who gives a shit?
G.I. Joe when Marvel had it. It was a G.I. Joe issue. Art was great. And it was done from the POV of Snake Eyes.
Right. You there, Scott? Scott, you there? Hello? Where did he go? Scott? I lost Scott. Oh, man. I wanted to continue this, too, because we have a lot to talk about on